designer for the closure of this event. And this was the starting point for this craze of young art. It was a great critical success, and it was really refreshing to read the thoughts of the artists themselves after the practice of 90s, where critics tried to speak really in really fancy words about art, and the art was left in the shadow. So there were 22 artists that were interviewed, and their work shown and their homes showed as well. And it was really cleverly designed, and it really hit the, so to speak, the nail, the head of the nail, because it came in a period where not that much was talked about young art. And another publication was part of Estonian quarterly art magazine Kunst.ee, and it had an edition of Young Estonia, called Young Estonia, or Noor Eesti in Estonian. It's a reference to the literary movement in the beginning of 20th century that young writers who wanted to embrace the influence of the West and like to create a thriving young Estonian literary scene. But this, and it also, like a century later, this publication with the aim of showing young Estonian art as thriving and happening. Okay. In terms of exhibitions, there's a lot of things going on in the galleries I showed earlier, and in other places as well. But the exhibitions that really matter are the big ones, that are made with a lot of effort and with ambition to say something about general tendencies, at least according in connection with my topic. There was an interesting exhibition done in 2001 called Young British Art. It was curated by Anno Swans and Andres Härm and Iva. And it happened quite a while ago, but it's for me it's an interesting example of how to produce exhibition, because they stole the slogan of Young British Art and also the symbolics, and created something scandalous, which got really a high media coverage. There were photos of child pornography that were taken from the web and printed on paper, I think, and that were banned just a few days after the exhibition. There were some controversy with animal torture, like with this installation of Thomas Mick. several hundreds of bees died because the artist didn't think or didn't know about like the conditions that the bees needed to survive, and there were some other issues as well. This was an exhibition that made people think and talk about art, but and mostly it was a triumph for the curators, because now 7 years later a lot of the artists that were exhibited are not well known. Although the exhibition was a great hit, they didn't succeed in producing so-called a generation, or producing a phenomena. It's and it's in comparison with the real young British art, it's a half product, with the curatorship and the scandals overshadowing the works and not giving enough limelight to the artists themselves. But it's interesting that last year in April, there was an opening of an exhibition called New Wave, Estonian artists of the 21st century, that were curated by Andres Härm and Hanno Swaans. So two of the three curators of young British art, and this was done in the high point of the so-called hype of young art in Estonia, and the expectations were really high, and they had set their standards high as well, with great ambition to define the scene of the moment. It was sometimes referred to as the 2022 Plus project, in reference to the book, which was a great hit. The book itself didn't want to categorize the artists, or to say to draw some conclusions. It just gave floor to the artist, but Härm and Swaans continued this project with ambition to say something about the generation, but the exhibition came out a bit too sterile, and people were saying that it's not the right format for young art to be exhibited in the biggest space available in Tallinn, with very pristine exhibition design. It didn't. The art wasn't willing to be canned. Everything was too sterile and too neat and too soulless, and much more interesting things were going on outside, as Kristina will talk later. At that moment, there were big riots in Tallinn. I wasn't there myself, but some of the other Estonians, Laura and Margit, were in the opening of this new wave, and at the same time, behind the windows, a mob was shouting and trashing the windows underneath. So there was a great contrast between what the curators wanted to do, what they succeeded in doing, and what was happening outside. Especially thinking that, like, with Andres Härmand, like the